Hey, Jeremy. This is a new model that you might want to make. I don't know, or you may not. I call this the McCauslin, and it's named after a really good trout stream that runs about 500 feet in front of my house up home. When I got the knife, I was extremely pleased with it. Overall fit and finish, outstanding. Grind lines were good, met up at the choil evenly, handle well finished. Didn't see anything with that. Now I've made some changes. Some of them are suggestions I think would help the knife. Others are personal preference. So I'm going to try to differentiate between the two here so you'll understand why I made them. So the first thing you might see is I shortened this quite a bit on the sheath here and took it down. I retained the little thumb thing. I remade it. It's hard to see, but it's there. There just wasn't enough handle if it was up here to get a hold of to do me any good. So now I can grab almost the whole handle and I can actually use it. Now if you'll hang on a second, I'm going to set this down and remove the knife. I think it'll be a little easier. Alright, now to the knife itself. The first thing you're going to see obviously is that the blade has been changed. That is cosmetic. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the way you did the blade. I did that as a personal preference thing. And the reason I did that is what I envision using this knife for a lot will be in the woods type. I go for a walk and I'm always going to have a primary folder and stuff, but I want a really solid little backup knife. Could carve wood with, could do a lot of things like that with. So I took the blade down straight. There's nothing wrong with the way you did it. And if you choose to make something like this, you may want to actually make two models. Make the one that you made, which was great. The spear point is just a hard design to argue against because it has so much going for it. The other thing is anybody that wanted something like this can easily modify it themselves. They can try it first. If they don't like it, they can change it. Now the other thing you probably noticed right away is that I've changed the handle here quite a bit, and I took this center bump out. Now that I did because it just did not feel good. It hit right here, right on that center finger, and I never could get a decent grip on it. The length is fine for a little neck knife, even with my big old paws. It feels very secure. I would have no problem whittling with this. If you wanted to make this exact blade shape and add only a ½ inch of handle, I think it would probably be one of the most ideal neck knives I've ever seen anybody make. Especially with the grind. I love the flat grind, flatter convex, only way to fly. And this handle, for me at least, is much more comfortable, much more secure. I never felt like the knife would settle in my hand. The flat sides that you put on it, on something this small, definitely the way to go. You did great on that, because if you round it too much on something this small, the knife tends to twist. But I can lock that in there just solid as a rock. It's not going anywhere. So I would certainly keep that feature. And when I redid it, I rounded this slightly, of course, and refinished it. But basically it's the same contour that you had on it. Wouldn't change that a bit. Love this handle material. It's really cool looking. The liners, everything else about it. So just to recap, nothing wrong with the blade at all. I just changed it to suit my needs, and I think that's something people do on a lot of knives. And the handle was changed, though. That, you know, for a reason. That's more comfortable for me, and I think it's a better use handle. You might want to experiment with that. See what you think yourself. But I like that a lot. I'm going to put a small lanyard on this. Excuse me, a fob. There's a big difference to me. I hear people use the terms interchangeably, and there's a little one I'm going to put on there. I like these on a real tiny knife like this for a couple of reasons. One, it aids me in getting it out of the sheath, and two, when I hold the knife, that will go in the back part of my hand back here, and aids even further in control. So I like a fob for that reason. You know, lanyards to me have a totally different purpose. Much different thing. They're long, they're attached to your belt, they're attached to your knife on the other end, and for me, a lanyard, I think of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police with the classical over-the-shoulder lanyard going to their pistol butt. That's how I envision those. These little fobs are great for something like this. So that'll probably go on there. I wish I had a blue one, since I got blue. I've got blue paracord to go with the knife. Looks pretty cool when it's all together. And I'll have to see if I can hunt me a little bitty blue one of these or make one. But I love the knife. I love the fit and finish. The grind here is nice and equal. The blade's well centered. The grind's even on both sides. And the handle's well finished. It was well sanded. It was very comfortable, except, you know, for that. And again, it may be just me, I don't know. Someone else may like it. But I believe that for a blade this small, or a handle that small, let me say it, put it that way, I think that's a better design, because with just 3 fingers, there's no way to spread that front one out and then have the back two behind it. Now, if you put that extra ½ inch on there, you may be able to do that. I don't know. But, you know, my preference is always more or less for something like this. You know, the other handle I think almost looks better than this, but I believe performance-wise, for me, certainly, this is a better way to go. So that's my thoughts on it, good and bad, and there wasn't really much bad, just things I changed. And you know, again, the blade is fine the way you make it. Personal preference on that. The sheath, though, I would incorporate this lower thing on it, because it's just when it's that high up, it's just really difficult to get a hold of the handle and get it out. You know, this would assist in that if you wanted to run it that high, but I think the way it is now, I can really grab the handle much better. I can get it almost up to there. Excuse me, that was out of frame. Almost up to there, and get a real good purchase on it, but yet it's still extremely secure in the sheath. So that's my take on it. And if you want to make something like this, like I said, you can just name it the McCauslin. That's a little trout stream that I fished in as a kid all my life. I can't tell you how many fish I pulled out of that thing. But you take it easy, and I'll talk to you later.